cannot afford it itself. That's zakah or salah. Okay. Another way, selling the senate, when I said to sell it, now the first one is return it to the issuer. If you can't do that, and a lot of the times you can't, you sell it. But selling it has conditions, very important. Because what are you selling here?
A share of paper.
Yes, but what is it? What is? Why we are discussing the bonds tonight?
It's a loan.
Because that's a loan. When you sell a loan, you cannot sell a loan with another loan. Okay? Unless specific conditions are met. Okay? You are selling a loan. So when we sell a loan, we have to respect some conditions. Okay? And one of those conditions, which I already mentioned, that is mumathala, the same. So you sell a loan that is $1,000, you need to sell it for the same amount. $1,000. Okay? You sell it for the same amount. That is one condition. Also the second condition is al-qabd, qabl al-tafarruq. You sell that certificate, that loan for $1,000, you collect before you leave. And where the agreement took place, that is where you collect the money. Because if you don't, then it becomes bay'u ad-dayn bid-dayn. Selling loan with loan, and that is haram. Alright? So you sell it, you get your money right away. Now what they have today is what they call sukuk. And sukuk is like very much shares, okay? The shares that we have talked as a solution. Instead of lending the company $1,000, that is the value of one bond, for example, and they promise you 2%, 3%, you invest $1,000. And your profit can be more, and you may lose, and that's what makes tijara permissible and halal, and there is no guarantee for that. Okay. The second type, so now we understand bonds are haram. Investing in bonds is haram. Riba. Okay? Riba. Now, the other types of investment, it's not an investment as much as it's transaction to get some work done, okay? And it's about specific issue, and that is when you are importing and exporting, okay? Importing and exporting. And these things they call documentary credits. Okay, familiar with that? No. Okay. Documentary credits, what they call in Arabic اعتمادات مستندية or مسندية. What this is, you are a businessman and you want to import some stuff, okay? Let's say you want to import a container of t-shirts from China, all right? You're a businessman in Miami here. The exporter, Mr. Leon, in China, wants to guarantee his money. So you go to your bank and you tell the bank to put the money in escrow, for example, if I can use the word, okay? But this word is not mentioned in the definition, in the investment dictionaries and all that. But they put the money, let's say the value of the container $10,000, the bank will pay $10,000 to the exporter, okay? You are the importer, you deal with this bank. That is what documentary credits mean. Okay? Documentary means before the bank puts the money, they want the policy, the shipment policy, the shipping, the amount, the value, the estimate, whatever it is. That's why they call it documentary. They want too much documentation. But the point is, all this is in the favor of the exporter to guarantee his money. The importer to get his goods. Now, when you go to a bank to ask for that, usually you go to the bank that you've been dealing with. Okay? It comes in different ways. The bank can cover the whole thing completely. That means you don't have money and the bank will cover you because you're a good client. The bank might cover partially. It's 10,000, you have 5,000, the bank will cover the other 5. Or the bank will not cover anything because you have everything. You have the amount, so the bank just doing the transaction for you, the paperwork. The issue is not when you are paying for the whole thing. The issue is when the bank is covering you partially or completely. Because in other words, the bank is lending you the money. Right? So they are lending you the money to pay the exporter so you can get your goods. Now, that is not the issue because the bank is not going to do that as a favor for free. They're going to charge. Now, who's the lender here and who's the borrower? The lender is the bank and the borrower?
Individual.
The importer. The importer. Okay? I don't import. Alright, the importer is the borrower. Now the bank, we said any benefit for the lender or the borrower is considered riba.
Any what?
Any benefit, a kickback for the lender or the borrower from the loan.
Even if the service charge, if the bank charges service charge.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Okay? So we established the rule that any kickback, any return because of a loan for the lender is considered riba. So now we understand the bank is the lender. That's why we said we're only concerned about partially or completely covered by the bank. Okay? Now the bank, as I said, will not do this for free. They will charge you fees. They will charge you. Of course, they're going to tell you, you have, let's say, 30 days, 2 months, 3 months to pay what we covered for you. If you don't pay by then interest start incurring. Okay? Now, forget it. Let's put the second issue on the side about paying late. The first issue, if the fee that is being charged, okay, way more and obviously more than what it really cost the bank, then that is riba, because it's a benefit and a kickback. Okay? If the bank, all they're doing is just transferring the money, and then they come and they tell you, we're going to charge you $200, $300 as a fee, obviously that is more than what it cost them, so that is considered riba. On the second part, if they covered $5,000 and they tell you you have to pay in 30 days, and you don't pay in 30 days, then they tell you then there is interest going to start recurring or incurring. That is riba. So as you can see, there is lending and borrowing in documentary credits, and that's what makes such transaction invalid or haram, because riba is included. Okay? You can go to your bank and you have the money, and that's when you transfer, or that's what you wire, or that's what they use as credit, and they'll charge you. Now, if they charge you the 200 if you are using your whole money, does it matter?
No.
No. Why?
Because there's no loan here.
Because there's no loan. Okay? If you're satisfied and you're okay that they charge you $200 for their fees, that's it. Now someone might ask, how can I know what it cost them? We say it's an estimate. If you can estimate that it's not costing them that much, then you know it's riba. If some banks, maybe out of courtesy, they're going to do it for you and they won't charge you that much, or you can convince